Hey everyone, Darren Eastman here. Welcome to the GitLab Runner 14.3 Kickoff video. Hey, so on my screen I'm currently showing out the direction page for GitLab Runner. If you haven't seen this page, this is where we talk about the overall vision for GitLab Runner, and then we also talk about what's next for the major product development categories, as well as some of the vision items for the major product development categories for GitLab Runner. And to recap, the three main product development categories for GitLab Runner and that we talk about are Runner Core, Runner Cloud, and Runner Enterprise Management. And Runner Core is, of course, the features and capabilities related to the GitLab Runner executable, i.e. the build agent that we use for executing your CI jobs. All of the capabilities that goes into that very important piece of software is what we refer to as Runner Core. Runner Cloud is our support for hosted runners on GitLab SaaS, and that's basically supporting our GitLab Build Cloud offerings for Linux, Windows, and Mac OS, which is coming soon. And then Runner Enterprise Management, and that's where we talk about features and capabilities for installing, configuring, managing, and monitoring of a GitLab Runner fleet or GitLab Runner CI/CD build infrastructure. And so it's related to all of those management capabilities, as well as the UX and UI experience of managing runners within the GitLab UI. So that's our three main product development categories. So when you come to this direction page, but that's how we have sort of broken out the product development flow, so you can kind of understand how all the different pieces work together. And so you'll see a section here that talks about the top vision items, and then we go into the what's next and why categories. And so the what's next and why categories is generally where we are narrowing the aperture and looking a bit more closely in terms of what's coming up in the near-term releases for the various product development categories. So finally for today, we're focused very narrowly on what we're working on for the upcoming release milestone, which in this case is 14.3. So in 14.3, and actually we're enhancing our investment in this particular theme that we've started over the past few release milestones, which is around scalability, reliability. And so if you notice and you've been following along, in 14.3 we've moved up the tech debt section to the top of the iteration plan. And this is just to basically signal that our investment and focus in 14.3 is really around improving reliability and scalability. So we're devoting a lot of time and resources to key features and capabilities in support of that. So you see some of these issues here. And then below under the Runner Cloud category, you'll also notice that we are continuing our engineering allocation, our 30% engineering allocation, which means that we have these engineers and these developers focus on critical issues, supporting, improving stability, reliability, and improving our Apex SRO scores for CI runners on GitLab.com. So significant investment in 14.3 around scalability and around reliability. And so that means that we have less features planned for the Runner Core category in terms of features planned to ship in 14.3. However, we do have some important features and capabilities that we're working on getting over the finish line. The first one I want to call your attention to for Runner Core is around the Kubernetes theme. And this is actually a very important feature. It's the one around the Kubernetes executor today ignores Docker entry point. It's actually a feature that's been it's been asked for quite a bit from a number of users in the community. And so in 14.3, we are hoping to finally get this one over the proverbial finish line. And basically at the end of the day, what this means is that if you're using the Kubernetes executor going forward, you can actually use the Docker entry point overrides when using the executor. Another feature around Kubernetes that we're working on in 14.3 is finalizing the fix for this situation where all runner pods are hanging around and eventually blocking new pods from starting up. You may recall that I chatted a bit about this in 14.2, and the reason being that in 14.2 we started the initial work on getting a solution in place, the first iteration, if you will, for getting a solution in place to finally solving this problem. So in 14.3, we hope to finish up the second piece of work and finally close off this issue so that to resolve this issue of pods not being properly removed and therefore causing an issue with new pods starting up. Now, one issue that we may have is that some of the work that's ongoing right now for the first iteration is still in flight as of today. So depending on where things land, when we freeze our code base later on this week, we may have to continue some of this initial iteration work as we get into the first part of 14.3. So we'll see how things go. But again, our goal is to wrap up this particular feature set and solve this particular issue of the runner parts hanging around in 14.3. So for running core in 14.3, really the main features and capabilities we're working to deliver are around the Kubernetes executor. There's one other feature that I want to call your attention to, which is around creating a section per script line. And this is building on some capabilities that we added last year, and it's going to simplify or improve the way that the actual logging files are displayed in the GitLab UI. So this is one additional piece of capability that we're working on shipping in 14.3 in the core runner code base. Finally, for Runner Enterprise Management and UI, we don't have anything planned to ship in 14.3. However, we are continuing working on some of the foundational elements in 14.3 related to setting the stage for improved management of a GitLab runner fleet at both the instance and the group level. So we're working on some of those foundational improvements in 14.3. You may have noticed that in 14.0 and 14.1, we shipped some enhancements, some foundational enhancements to the architecture. We'll be continuing some of that solution work in 14.3. Nothing critical planned to ship, but we'll have some additional things to share as we get into the 14.4 and 14.5 release milestones in terms of tangible, iterative features and capabilities around improving this management experience in the UI. So that's it for GitLab Runner 14.3, near-term iteration plan. As always, if there are critical issues, feature sets, or what have you, that you need attention, that you have a question on, or you'd like an additional eyes on it, if you will, or you want to boost that signal, feel free as always to add me on the issue at Darren Eastman, and I'll definitely take a look. Until next time, for 14.4, this is Darren signing off. Talk to you soon.